This is Plant-Based Briefing. Is your doctor vegan friendly? How to find a plant-based doctor by Karen Asp at forksoverknives.com. And I'm your host, Marian Erickson. This is the curated content plant-based podcast where I narrate a variety of articles on plant-based and vegan living with permission in about 10 minutes or less every weekday. And today's article is from forksoverknives.com. I'm thrilled to have permission to share their content. So now let's get to today's plant-based briefing. Is your doctor vegan friendly? How to find a plant-based doctor by Karen Asp at forksoverknives.com. Transitioning to a whole food plant-based diet is a great way to lower your risk of chronic diseases, boost your energy, and cut down on doctor visits in the long term. But it's not a reason to cut out your doctor altogether. If you've recently switched to a plant-based diet or are considering it, it's a good idea to let your healthcare team know. It's important to have a doctor who's willing to work with you, especially if you're on medication or have chronic issues, says Michelle McMacken, MD, Executive Director of Nutrition and Lifestyle Medicine at NYC Health and Hospitals, and Assistant Professor of Medicine at NYU School of Medicine. Fortunately, more and more physicians are recognizing the health benefits of plant-based nutrition, and a growing number are making it a central part of their practice. If you're apprehensive about broaching the subject with your doctor, read on for some expert tips to make sure you get the support you need, plus a roundup of databases to connect you with plant-based healthcare providers around the country. Tell your doc you're assuming responsibility for your health. When physicians hear this, which they rarely do, they get excited and they're more open to a conversation, says Scott Stoll, MD, board-certified specialist in physical medicine and rehabilitation in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, and co-founder of the Plantrition Project. Make sure you come armed with resources like a list of documentaries that have inspired you or evidence-based reviews, such as the official position paper on plant-based diets linked here from the world's largest organization of nutrition professionals, the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. Avoid asking doctors about their own dietary choices. Most physicians will think this is taking it too much to the personal level, which could make them feel defensive, McMacken says. Switch doctors if you run into a brick wall. If you're encountering skepticism and pushback from a doctor who's not convinced about the benefits of a whole food plant-based diet, move on. You're in control of your health, and you need to find a physician who respects and honors your choice, Stoll says. Search online plant-based doctor directories. So where should you start looking for a plant-based doctor? For starters, if you're not already involved in the Forks Over Knives official plant-based community on Facebook or a local group focused on plant-based eating, the time to join is now. The support you'll get from these groups is tremendous, and you can often ask members who live in your area if they have recommendations. You can also tap online directories. While many of them allow you to search by your location, you can also find experts who are licensed to practice telehealth medicine in certain states. Here are 4 to keep on your radar. Plantrition providers. Formerly known as Plant-Based Docs, the Plantrition Project's free search tool linked here lets you search for plant-based healthcare providers globally. We want to serve as a bridge between people looking for healthcare professionals who are passionate about plant-based nutrition and lifestyle medicine, says Stoll, a co-founder of the site. The registry includes not only medical doctors, but also a variety of other health experts, including physical therapists, exercise physiologists, and health coaches. Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine, PCRM. The Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine's Find a Doctor database, linked here, is an easy way to find help around the world, and you start by answering whether you're looking for a local provider or somebody who offers telehealth services. You'll then be directed to provide more specific information to narrow your search. Love.life. Founded in part by co-founder of Whole Foods and plant-based advocate John Mackey, Love.life is an online-based practice made up exclusively of providers board-certified in lifestyle and functional medicine. It doesn't matter where you live in the United States, as telehealth is the name of the game here, and your search will yield specific practitioners who are licensed in your state. Some even practice internationally. Kaiser Permanente. This healthcare organization deserves credit for advocating a plant-based diet for everybody, staff and patients included. In fact, many of its medical centers run a 21-day Plant Strong Challenge, in which all staff are encouraged to try a whole food plant-based diet during that time. All of this means that you're more likely to find a pro-plant-based doctor at this organization than others. To find Kaiser Permanente physicians near you, browse its doctor directory linked here. Team up with a plant-based dietitian or health coach. Other professionals who can help you optimize your health on a plant-based diet include dietitians and health coaches. While they're not physicians, they can help educate you about making changes, especially if your doctor isn't familiar with this eating plan, McMacken says. Plantrition Providers database includes such professionals, and the Physicians Committee recently launched its Preferred Dietitian Referral, linked here, a database that allows you to search specifically for U.S.-based dietitians who have expertise in plant-based nutrition. You'll find experts who can meet in person as well as those who provide telehealth services. Share your success. Whether you're meeting with a doctor for the first time or the 50th time, make sure you share how good you feel on a whole food plant-based diet. This can be a potentially great opportunity to influence somebody who directly sees your results over time, says Stoll, who adds that he's met many physicians whose interest in plant-based nutrition was sparked by their patients' transformations. You just listened to Is Your Doctor Vegan Friendly? How to Find a Plant-Based Doctor by Karen Asp at forksoverknives.com. And I'm Marian Erickson, your host. And this article was written a few years ago, but it's been updated to include Love.Life as one of the options. For example, I did a podcast episode on that organization. It's episode 531, From Being Denied Life Insurance to Losing 160 Pounds and Founding a Plant-Based Telehealth Organization. So you can check that one out. I'll link it in the show notes. And I've mentioned this a bunch of times, I'm sure, but John Mackey, who is one of the co-founders of Love.Life, is one of the people key to my journey because I heard him on the Rich Roll podcast talking about his book, The Whole Foods Diet, written by himself as well as the two doctors from the Forks Over Knives documentary, Alona Polde and Matthew Lederman. That book started our journey. We finished that book and started immediately on a whole food plant-based lifestyle. And then in researching how to eat and what to cook, because I was pretty bad at it all, I was binging plant-based podcasts, and they had animal justice guests on there talking about the horrors of animal agriculture. And they also sprinkled in some environmental guests as well. And I was just horrified. So went from not only being plant-based, but to being vegan, an ethical vegan and active. So that was part of my journey, and I'm grateful to John Mackey and that book. And please share this episode with anyone who might benefit, and thanks for listening.